Welcome to the Panic Button, everyone. I'm Nina.
I'm Jessie.
So, Fletcher, you ever heard of her? Well, apparently she was a lesbian pop singer.
That was that. Her title was lesbian pop singer.
Yeah, she was a lesbian pop singer. When I was on TikTok a lot, 2 or 3 years ago, I would see her all over lesbian TikTok. And you know what? I was like, something about her smells fishy. And not in the lesbian kind of way. I mean in the suspicious kind of way. And come to find out, well, she's not a lesbian. Surprise, surprise.
She has a boyfriend now.
Oh, yeah. Because I guess lesbians, all we need is a good man and he can turn us straight really fast, unless they were just grifting the whole time.
Well, the lesbian community as a whole, the ones that are on the left, the ones that are on the right, seem to be not okay with this. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Gay breaking news. Fletcher just came out as dating a man.
And this is fresh off of the heels of JoJo Siwa hard launching a relationship with a man.
Right, I'm seeing a pattern. But what's next? Honestly, did Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland to date Colin Farrell?
Don't.
That's fun.
That's fun. Great. I swear to God, if I open up Instagram and Ellen DeGeneres posts a selfie kissing Blake Sheldon, I'm out of here. I've had enough. Honestly, cute couple, though.
I'm going to lose my shit if Machine Gun Kelly pulls Leah Delaria. I'm going to be mad. I actually am going to be mad.
And I'm not saying that they're not cute couples.
No, all of these couples, honestly, besides Machine Gun Kelly, Leah Delaria.
Well, Machine Gun Kelly shouldn't date anyone.
Yeah, that's true. Gay breaking news.
And yeah, so lesbians, even the ones that are like left-leaning, are shocked. They're shocked and they're not happy with it. And they're clearly making jokes. Oh, are they making fun of these people? No, they're making jokes because it's crazy to see that a lesbian is with a man.
Yeah, you know what? I'm like the lesbian bloodhound. I could sniff them out.
You're making really gross vagina jokes, and I don't think you're meaning to.
I'm not.
Smells fishy, lesbian bloodhound. Am I the only one? Am I the problem? Are you guys picking up on this?
Listen, I can sniff out a fakie fast, like that. I could tell. This one seemed like she was going overboard, doing way too much.
Fletcher?
Oh, yeah. So many TikToks of her being overly sexual with women. And I'm like, something's off about
You're
this.
making it too much.
It's too much of a spectacle. And it's not in here. It's not in here. It's out there. It's like, oh, look at me. Miley Cyrus.
Lindsay Lohan dated a woman.
Yeah. I mean, they all go through the phase, like you said, right? But they come out in the other end not being lesbian at all. But calling yourself a lesbian and then going to guys, you're just making the gays look really straight.
Or like they can be fixed. Well,
like they can be fixed.
We could talk about that more. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, the next one.
I'm not mad that Fletcher's dating a man. I actually don't care who she's dating. I think she's allowed to date whoever she wants. That's literally the pinnacle of being in the queer community, is accepting and validating consenting adults dating. What I am mad about is the way she went about it. People in my life constantly tell me that if I could just date a man, I would be in such a better place in society. And that's the messaging we get from birth. That's like how we're conditioned in a heteronormative society under the patriarchy. So for Fletcher to come out and phrase her narrative with her marketing and her lyrics and her song and everything.
I don't agree with the words she's using, but she's still right to a degree. You've been told your life would be better if you just found a man. You'd be taken care of. They'd make you feel better. Your relationships would be more successful. Everyone's heard this if they're a lesbian.
Yeah.
So, although I don't agree with her use of the word under the patriarchy and all this other shit, she's not wrong.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I know that she's a libtard, but hear her out. Hear her for the facts she's saying.
I'm waiting.
I could see your like eye twitch.
And her social media as like a rebrand, as I wasn't being honest before, now I'm being honest about who I am, as this is the real me, to change her name, to delete everything on her Instagram prior to now. The very clear message that communicates is that the person who I was when I was singing about women was not authentic to who I truly am. And now that I'm dating a man, I'm living in my truth. I also think it's incredibly disrespectful the way that she phrased her coming out, as I don't think that...
Hold on. So now that she's dating a man, it's her truth.
I think we may want to pause to read what she wrote, since that's what she's referencing.
Okay.
And I haven't...
Community's going to accept me, or would you...
really might want to pause to read what Fletcher wrote, which is the Instagram one. So this was the post that Fletcher made on Instagram. June 25. This is my heart split open on record, referring to her new album. Born from my terrifying question, would I still be loved if I shared who I am right now? I tried to gather my thoughts and feelings to share time and time again, so I did it in the best way I know how. It's the sound of my cracking, but it is also the sound of my exhale. Both an open wound and an act of liberation, it marks the start of a new chapter and a longer story, one I am still learning how to tell. So let's start, not at the beginning, but somewhere in the middle. Love always, Carrie.
Platitude. It's a bunch of bullshit. That's what that is.
When this lady in this video is referring to the fact that she's like leaning into saying that's not who I am, it makes it sound a lot like the lesbianism was a clout that you didn't actually believe in.
So you used us. You
exactly.
used us.
You used it as a pawn. You used it as an item.
So you're like a trans woman, right? You're kind of like a fake trans woman.
I was thinking about that too. So we can just say that we're men now, but we can't just say that we're straight now. Isn't that a little different? I'd rather have people be like, oh, you know what? I thought I was lesbian. Now I'm straight. I'd rather hear that than I'd like to be in women's sports than 8 feet tall.
She based her entire career off of being a lesbian. She got a whole bunch of lesbian fans pushing her for being a lesbian, only to come to find out it wasn't who she truly was. You're a public figure saying that you're this and you're not.
At the beginning of Pride, too. You're like, I'm also straight.
Absolutely abhorrent and disgusting at the same time.
Really like me if you knew who I was. Because that's something that queer people, as we are coming out, do experience in society. We experience shame, mistreatment, discrimination, harassment, danger, because as someone, specifically me, who's a woman dating a woman, we are not fitting into the patriarchy. So we're bucking societal norms. Coming out as someone who is deciding to date within societal norms.
She's not wrong coming from a generation of your generation. You guys have been harassed. You've been told that you should be with a man. You've been told that society says you are subservient to a man and you must be with one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's right in today's world, but she was right in someone's world not too long ago. And it is a slap in the face to say, oh, I don't feel like I'd be accepted for being straight. Why? Why don't you feel like you'll be accepted for being straight?
Because you cosplayed as a fucking lesbian?
And because the fucking gay community is so hardcore. It's so you have to be with us or you're against us. And so, of course, if you're realizing that, oh, shit, maybe I'm straight, you're not going to want to fucking say it. What a destructive thing to your brand,
you
to
based
everything.
your entire career off of that.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You fooled everybody. Well, not me, but you fooled a whole bunch of people pretending to be something that you weren't.
And lying and saying that you definitely were that thing.
So what makes her any different than someone pretending to be a trans woman? Huh? Or pretending to be a woman, for that matter?
I would say that the only difference is that she's not asking you to change the way that you see her, because you could see her whatever way you want to see her. At the end of the day, it's not as big of a deal, but it is because of what she decided to label herself as, to label herself to the world as.
It's the optics. These people like Chapel Roan and Jojo Siwa and her, they're creating the optics of lesbian being something that can be fixed by a man. Didn't we get over that a long time ago? Oh no, we're back in it now? Oh, great. It's okay to appropriate being a lesbian? That's totally cool? No, it's not fucking cool. It's garbage.
Now, I don't know if you've seen Fletcher, but obviously she looked very feminine, not very masculine in the looks that Fletcher uses. And this woman does touch on that in a way that I think, because she's obviously a feminine lesbian. Yeah. And she touches on that in a way that I think is important for us to hear as lesbians and with what's going on.
Norms, and then phrasing it like she's somehow going to be persecuted for that is crazy. I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I really don't think anybody in queer culture is upset at her because she's dating a man. I think everyone is upset with the messaging because the messaging was disrespectful and inherently just reinforces everything that us femme lesbians, queer people in general, but especially I feel like femme lesbians get told all of the time, which is that we just haven't found the right man yet. Like if some people in my life were on social media, which they're not, if they were, and they knew about JoJo and Fletcher, they would be praising God. I know for a fact they would be praying at night that I could have that experience, that would be my trajectory. And I know that's not ever going to happen because I know I am a lesbian, but they see someone who has been, in JoJo's case, vocally a lesbian, in Fletcher's case, just openly bisexual, but very much talking about women in a sapphic sense. And they say, well, if they can change, you can change. Clearly, it's a choice. I know that this is all just to market the song, and I know she's definitely sitting at home like giggling because her marketing scheme worked and people are talking about it. I lost a lot of respect for her as a queer person, and I lost a lot of respect for her honestly as just someone who exists in today's society.
She ain't a lesbian. She ain't a lesbian.
Because you calling yourself queer.
If you call yourself queer, what does that mean? That means that you're okay dating a dude who's pretending to be a chick. So you're not lesbian. Sorry.
Yes, but
you're bi.
I agree.
Bye-bye.
I agree with you. However, she didn't make invalid points besides the sexuality that she identifies as.
I think
queer.
she's a retard. That's what I think.
Well, you don't have to
retard.
Lesbians do not care that Fletcher came out dating a man. That's not the thing. Everybody's like, oh, like lesbians hating on her for that. Like that's not very proud. Like, you know, no, listen, it's not the fact that she's dating a man. It's the fact her entire identity switched up. Okay. Fletcher was obviously known for being a lesbian and being like super gay and talking about it all the time, but she was known for like her edginess and her stuff. Again, she goes by Fletcher. And now during Pride Month, she reveals that she's with a man and releases this video that looks like a fresh baptism video that you're shown when you're like 12 years old about somebody finding the light. And she's like gotten rid of all of her edginess, and instead of going by Fletcher, she's going by Carrie. She's going by Carrie. Because of the switch up in character, personality.
No.
Oh, yeah. Go f***ing figure what it is.
Great. Is she going to come out as a Jesus follower? Is she going to do Christian music now?
Is it ironic?
No offense, Christians. No offense, but she's a performative person who's fake with everything.
No, and this chick has got it completely right. It looks like the coming to God moment where your parents have been praying your whole life that you just find the right man, and then it happened. I'm sure that's what a lot of people would think.
And then also erasing every single sapphic thing she ever had on her timeline, which was a ton of stuff, to get rid of.
Go to her Instagram now, just to show you. Deleted all posts but 7. Happy Pride Month.
Off
What
you.
an honor it is to be queer. It's truly one of my life's biggest gifts that has allowed me to live with such an open heart and curiosity about the ways it wants to be expressed, held, and celebrated. Oh, the places it has taken me. I'm so grateful to grow along you. I see you, I love you, and I'm always with you. See you soon. The first top comment is my favorite. Oh, so brave, you kissing a boy. Stay strong, girl.
Of it and wipe it out, like that just wasn't part of her identity, I think is offensive to a lot of people in the queer community. And again, there's nothing wrong with the fact that she got with a man. I believe sexuality is fluid. I believe you're allowed to change your mind and date and be with whoever. It's just the presentation of it is like making it look like, oh, look, now I'm this like butter churning, fairy, soft, sweet princess now. Like, it's giving like trad movement vibes. And it feels like her whole like lesbian Fletcher self must have been an entire show. It feels disingenuous, almost like she used the community. Again, she's able to change her mind on her sexuality and do whatever makes her feel good about herself or happy. But like, it's crazy that her whole entire like personality had to switch up with it, because it just feels like all of that was disingenuous and that she was mirroring what she thought the queer community would want at the time, instead of just being herself this entire time. I don't know. That's just my take on it, but maybe I'm crazy. Let me know. What do you also want to clarify? I'm not throwing shade. I think she's very, very talented. I'm just trying to interpret why I think some people are upset, because it's been all over my For You page.
I'm throwing shade. She's a fool. She's insulting. Also, she's a freaking robot.
How whipped we have people to apologize for giving a valid and not even slightly mean opinion. She called her a fairy, and not in the gay way, because we're making fun of her being straight. Like, Jesus Christ. Stop apologizing for things that have no need to be apologized for. You are clarifying why people are upset. There's no reason to apologize.
Is that the last one?
Nope, there's one more.
Oh.
Lesbian pop icon Fletcher comes out as straight. And during Pride Month, how could she? Fletcher became famous for making songs about her exes and current love affairs as a lesbian. She's now released an album called Would You Love Me If You Knew Me, and a brand new song called Boy. And spoiler alert, she's dating a boy. And lesbians aren't happy. But really, are they ever? Fletcher said that it was really difficult to come out as straight after all of this time, and she was afraid of backlash from her community. Let this sink in for a minute. Straight people are afraid to be straight. Because of You. Her new album, titled Would You Love Me If You Really Knew Me, stems from the idea that she thought her following was only because she was gay, and her entire fan base would abandon her if they found out she didn't feel that way any longer.
Because her whole career is based off of her identity of being a lesbian. That's her whole shtick.
Yes, but the self-eating nature of the LGBTQ is why people feel like they can't even take back what they said.
You can't take it back. When you come out and make an entire career about it and you fool a whole bunch of people saying you're a lesbian when you're not, I don't blame people for being mad.
No, I don't blame people for being mad, but the problem isn't that people are just going to be mad that she's not a lesbian. It's not just the lesbians.
You fucking lied.
This is why
you're a fucking liar.
But this is why these creators keep saying the queer community, the queer community.
Queer.
Because
Yeah, it's not the lesbian
not the
community.
lesbians. It's the queer people attacking her. It's not people like you and me necessarily.
No, because we're not bi.
You're a little bit attacking, but not like me.
Of course. I'm salty.
That's just who you are.
It's who I've always been. Okay.
But as I've been kind of saying, it's at the end of the day, the fact that the LGBTQ people are so crazy is why someone can't even come out and say, I think I'm bi, but I'm in a straight relationship. Because they're so scared of these fucking trannies and shit.
I don't like them. Don't like her.
In the song Boys, she even says, I know this isn't what you want to hear. The gay cult, it's not even a community anymore, we'll just be calling it the gay cult, is losing their goddamn minds over this and saying, how could she do this to us during Pride Month? How could she what? Enter into a relationship? Decide to go public with that relationship? Change her mind because she's 31 years old and you're different in your 20s versus your 30s?
I'm sorry. Are you going to change your mind? Are you going to be straight all of a sudden? Lesbians don't change their mind. You don't all of a sudden realize you like dick, okay? You like vagina. You're repulsed by dick. That's how it fucking works when you say you're a lesbian.
I don't think...
If you're confused, you say you're confused. You don't say you're gay.
I don't think she's defending Fletcher labeling herself. I think she's merely pointing out that the left and the LGBT community are self-eating entities. You can't win, or like you can't win no matter what. You're always.
She was
lose.
a straight who infiltrated, pretended to be us in order to take advantage of us and our money.
Right, because at one point,
and then she went back on it.
At one point, it may have been genuine, but at this point, it clearly no longer was. And then you decided to delete everything.
Now she's genuine.
Right
now she's genuine. Highly doubtful.
I'm pretty sure, like, not to be like that person and a weirdo, but I'm pretty sure my mom still has pictures from when I was with my like middle school boyfriend. I don't have to go look at them, but I'm not over here like, you have to delete them. God forbid anyone knows I ever went out with a guy in middle school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, middle school. You're not 31 years old deciding that you're no longer a lesbian.
And I'm not hiding the fact that I was confused. I'm not hiding that. I never hide it on
She hid it.
Yes, that's the problem, is that she's hiding it.
Sneaky. Sneak.
But at the end of the day, I do think that we have a self-eating community.
Obviously, because we don't agree on shit.
Yes. And that's what ends up causing more backlash like this.
Yeah, when you have infiltrators coming in, pretending to be us so they can take advantage of us, and then go, oops, never mind. Bye-bye. Counting the bills.
Or how could she do this to you during Pride Month when everything is obviously all about you?
Pride.
Right? Yeah, she did this just to spite you. As if other people don't have their own interests and lives during Pride Month. No, it's only Pride, and we have to think about only you. Fletcher has gone so far as to wipe her social media, start from scratch, and even get rid of all of her old Pride merch. Do you think, maybe, just maybe, she doesn't want to be associated with y'all? Think about it. Fletcher, the lesbian pop star, has taken away all evidence that she ever sold Pride merch and started dating a man. Y'all done did it now. You can't even blame the straights for this one.
I blame the community. I blame the queers. I blame everybody. I don't blame myself because I saw right through that shit, just like JoJo Siwa, Miley Cyrus, and all the other fakies.
No, I don't think it's right, but I also think that, like, the community makes it so that people who are confused are scared to say, I was confused. That's how a lot of people also get trapped into transitioning, and they continue to transition because they feel scared to not transition anymore, to lose their entire following, their friends, everyone they know. And it's sad that we can't at least be like, well, just say you're confused and you're sorry. Like, I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Is different.
I feel like it's the same boat, though. To sit there and say...
It's in the same boat, but it shouldn't be in the same boat. It was the LGBs first. Then the Ts came in along the way, and we're like, hey, we're different.
Professing that you are to be seen as a different person is the same as saying, this is my sexuality, now look at me for it.
I wasn't saying look at me for being a lesbian. I said leave me alone.
Like this are.
Well, that's their fault.
Yeah. I would say that this person is using it the same way that trans people use identity.
Well, that's because they're in the cult. I'm not in the cult.
Fletcher
Never
this one.
Have been in the cult. I don't know if you were ever in the cult, but you're not in the cult now. The people who are in the cult can bitch at the people in the cult all they want. I've been out of it. I think they're all lunatics. They're crazy. They're culty. And they're mean girls. I don't like them.
I'm not defending Fletcher. I think what Fletcher did is wrong. But I'm also saying that, like, we have a community that makes it hard for when people are wrong to back out easily.
Most of the people who transition and detransition were children.
Yes, and I think
that's different. When you're an
but what
adult...
about adults?
Okay, when you're an adult, if you're going around and you're talking to people about transitioning and you're trying to get like little kids to transition, if you're staying out of it all and you're doing your own thing and you're transitioning, then you realize, oh, maybe I'm not that. That's different. But when you're pushing it on everyone and you're being a jerk and you're also being like predatory, like talking to kids about that stuff, and then you're detransitioning, then I have a problem.
That's why I would compare this to that.
Because you just did some damage during your time of transness.
Yes, and I would heavily compare Fletcher to that because Fletcher's sitting out there and telling all these little girls who think that they're gay, oh, this is gay, this is gay, this is gay. Oh, actually, I'm not gay at all. I'm going to take it away. So I would say, yes, it's very much like being trans and then not detransitioning because you're scared of the social consequences. She's scared of the social consequences of saying, I'm not gay.
Well, she's an adult. She
needs to
made her
handle it.
decisions, and she can deal with the backlash. What do you guys think? Like and subscribe, join our memberships, comment below.
Let us know what you think of Fletcher and who you disagreed with most. You guys like to pick sides, so pick a side.
It was probably me, because I'm the
Team Jesse
meanie.
or Team Nina?
Team nice or team mean?
I wouldn't say that. I'd say just like...
Follow